Welcome to my channel, curbstomp.overwatch. This video is going to be a Wrath of the Lich King leveling guide. I didn't think that in 2022 I would be making a guide about how to level in Wrath of the Lich King. This is an old expansion, but as you know, retail is putting up their Wrath of the Lich King server, so there's going to be a lot of people playing on that, and maybe it's been some time since you have played in Azeroth in the way that it used to be before Cataclysm. There's a lot of major changes of the map, so we'll start off first with the Alliance side of things. Now, my recommendation is that for your first character, if you are brand new to World of Warcraft or you don't have anything on this new Wrath of the Lich King server that you're on, I recommend choosing a Druid, a Paladin, or a Shaman. And the reason for that is that you can change your playstyle sort of at any time that you want. Granted, you'll have to get the appropriate gear to do so. The Druid can tank, heal, ranged DPS, melee DPS. Paladins can tank, heal, melee DPS. Shaman can't tank, but they do have the healing, the ranged DPS, and melee DPS options. So for Alliance, level 1 through 6 is going to be your starting zone, wherever you happen to start. I prefer the human starting zone because that puts you next to Stormwind, and step 2 on this guide is to go to Stormwind and set your hearthstone there. So if you've picked human, it's easy to just walk over there. If you have picked Draenei, you have your leveling area laid up to about level 6, and then you want to find a way to get to Stormwind. This leveling guide is in mind that maybe you do and maybe you don't have someone to help you. If you have a guild that you've joined and they have level 80s and it's easy for them to just teleport to where you are and make a portal for you to go to Stormwind, you can do that. If not, there are ways around that. There's boats that you can take from Exodore to Stormwind. In Ironforge, you can ride the train underneath the city to go to Stormwind, just so long as you get there. And then when you are there, set your hearthstone there so that you can go back quickly to Stormwind and talk to your class trainer. For this leveling guide, I don't recommend that you try to do professions while you level. That's just extra time. It's quicker to level those professions when you have your fastest mounted speed, so that you can go back into areas and spend your downtime doing your professions. Levels 6 through 10, we're going to be in Elwynn Forest. This is mostly on the west and southern part of the map. As far as the east end goes, I don't know any of the quests over there. From there, you keep going west into Westfall, and that's good for levels 11 through 18. And you're going to be at the northern part of the map and working your way down south. Now, if you happen to have a group that wants to do the dungeon over there, that's fine, but the easiest dungeon as a new player is going to be the Stockades at level 15. Once you hit 15 and you have someone that can run through it as many times as you can, provided that you're still getting experience for it. And also, that's mostly where you're going to get your gears in these dungeons. And I've got that dungeon list set out separately from the leveling guide. So it's Stockades at 15, Scarlet Monastery at 21, and Sulfurak at 35. If you don't know where those are, we'll go over that too later on. Once you get into about level 18, you can go into Duskwood, which is south of Stormwind. You sort of start on the top of the map and work your way far east and then wrap back around to the west. That area is good for level 19 to 30. Once you hit 31, you're going to go into Stranglethorn Vale, also affectionately known as Stranglethorn Hell, and that's because of the PvP in the area. For whatever reason, prior to Cataclysm, your hot zones for PvP, as far as world PvP go, were Stranglethorn Vale and sometimes Tanaris. So it's really common that you're going to run into higher level people in these areas. You may run into a situation where you're just getting killed over and over again. If that's the case, sometimes it's better to just log off, step away, go do something, and come back later. That way you make them waste their time waiting on you rather than them waste your time with killing you over and over again. The Master Series is the quest that I recommend for this. It is where you have to kill the young panthers, the young tigers, and the raptors, and there's 3 different sets of those, and then after each set you have a boss for each animal type. And those are really great quests that can take you up to about level 40. And you're going to eventually work your way down south into Stranglethorn Vale all the way to Booty Bay. From there, it is a bit of a long trip to get to Tanaris, but I like it because when you're in Tanaris, you have access to Zul'Farrak. And since you're already in Stranglethorn Vale, you're already in Booty Bay, you can ride the boat to Ratchet, which is in the Barrens, and then you can travel south all the way to the southern part of the Barrens, go into Thousand Needles. It also has that potential for heavy PvP. And most of the quests that I do on that are in the north and in the east section of the map. There's nothing really that I'm doing towards the west or the south unless I just really have to milk those numbers getting up to level 45. And if you're already in Tanaris, you might as well go into Ungoro Crater. I'm going to spend a lot of time here. This zone is good from 45 to 55. Tanaris was good from 41 to 45. So Ungoro, if you're a hunter, this is a place that you can get a lot of the exotic pets if you have the talent tree for it that's going to let you train them. This area at times can feel kind of empty or dead or boring, but it's fine to get you to 55 until you get to the worst drag in leveling for Wrath of the Lich King, which is 55 to 58. So you've got 3 options for that. You can continue in the area that you're already at, sort of by going into Sithilus. You can go back to the other side of the world and then be in the Blasted Lands or the Burning Steppes. I typically hit 58 in Blasted Lands, but it does feel miserable. You might enjoy Burning Steppes better. As soon as you hit 58, as soon as that dings, you can immediately stop what you're doing, teleport to Stormwind, and take the portal to the Blasted Lands if you're not there already. And that Blasted Lands teleportation puts you in front of the Dark Gate, and that lets you go into Outland. From there, you're going to step into Hellfire Peninsula. You're going to work your way east to west, and that's going to take you from 58 to about 60. So you're going to keep your Hearthstone at Stormwind, and you're going to use your portals to go back and forth. So you can Hearthstone to Stormwind, purchase your new spells, get anything you need out of the auction house, do all your business there, and then you can take that portal in the Mage Tower back to Blasted Lands. As soon as you step through the portal, there's a flight path there. It'll take you back to Honor Hold. Remember, there's no trainers in the capital city in Outland. From 61 to 65, this is one of my favorite areas. It's called Zangarmarsh, and I only do the east side of it. If you're really struggling to find more quests to do, you can go a little bit further north. There's an alliance camp there, or you can go out west. Usually by the time I would be going out west into Zangarmarsh, I just dip over the mountains into Nagrand, which is level 65 through 68, and that's where I will finish. So in Nagrand, there's a really good quest chain area near Laughing Skull Ruins where there's a pit and different beasts get summoned into the pit and you kill them one after another. You usually can't do this by yourself. You have to group up with somebody or have top level 80 help you with that. And I think the reward for it is usually a pretty good blue item. It's the exact same thing in Zul'Farrak and Northrend when you're sort of finishing up your leveling there. It's a bit of a repeat theme. As soon as you hit level 68, you can stop what you're doing, repeat the process. Go back to Stormwind, purchase your spells, use auction house, whatever you're needing to do. Then you get on the boat in Stormwind and travel to Northrend, and you'll be put out in the part called the Borean tundra. From there, you're going to work your way east into Dragonblight, work your way east more into Grizzly Hills, and then finally, you're going to finish in the K3 area of Storm Peaks. So those are the different zones to be at different times. As far as dungeons versus questing, you can do dungeons and group up for them if you want to. That's going to be the core method for acquiring good gear. If you don't have the money to buy it, you'll get the drops from the dungeons, especially in the Scarlet Monastery in Zul'Farrak. There's going to be some good gear. As far as the stockade goes, or any of those lower level dungeons, you're going to find that you're leveling at a pretty good rate, and you may outrun the capacity of your gear. Whenever I'm going into a new area or a new village or a new outpost, I just go ahead and collect every single quest that's in there. I don't read the quest text. I just click, accept, take all of it, and then I look at things that are grouped together. And I also try to target quests that are going to have you gather something from a kill and give you credit for a kill. So, for example, if the quest says kill 10 wolves, and you have another quest that says collect 8 wolf flanks of meat, and you're getting those from killing the wolves anyway, well, it just makes sense to do that. It's like knocking 2 out at the same time. I'm not a big fan of quests that have you go talk to different people. Those are breadcrumb quests. Those are more or less to try to get you to go to the next correct area. I don't like the escort quests. I'm pretty much only doing quests that have me kill things or collect things that are drop items from things that I've killed. Try to streamline your time. If you do have idle time, which would be while you're on a flight path, that's the time that you take a break from the computer, go use the restroom, grab something from the kitchen, come back. Try to not have any idle time if you're trying to speed level this. It's going to be a night and day difference to have a friend run you through these 3 dungeons that I mentioned, the Stockade, Scarlet Monastery, and Zul'Farrak. Stockades, of course, is just underneath Stormwind in the same way that Ridgefire Chasm is under Orgrimmar. The Scarlet Monastery takes a rather long time to get to. If you have a friend who has a 3-seater or 2-seater mount that you can get into, that's going to be your big time saver getting there. There's no shortcuts if you don't already have the flight paths. So that's about all the advice that I have for leveling. I play on a private server, which is Wrath of the Lich King, so the experience rate's a little bit different. It's 7 times XP rate, and I can get to level 80 in about 20 to 23 hours, just depending on the pace I feel like going. It will probably be more around 60, 70 hours if you're doing a true speed level on the retail server. If there's anything I've left out, anything you want to know, leave in the comment section. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to. I may do some more World of Warcraft content. I've been really heavy into the Overwatch stuff lately, and that game is coming to a close. So expect a very last highlight reel for that. And then when Overwatch 2 comes out, I may give some video attention to that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.